There we go. Hi everybody, how are you? How is everybody? Oh, I'm like a minute early. I thought I was late. Anywho, while we are all hopping on, I will go ahead and show you what we are doing tonight. I hurry and painted this, or primed it. So we're doing a cute little flower pot with polka dots and stripes, kind of like daisies. It's going to be a little more whimsy and fun tonight. So anyways, I wanted to kind of go with a black and white and then lots of color for the flowers. So that's kind of where I'm headed at in my head. Colors tonight, always black and white. We are going to be using some bright yellow, the lighter color, and bright yellow, the darker yellow, and bubblegum and fuchsia. We are going to be using cantaloupe and pumpkin, gecko and parsley for our greens, and our reds, we're going to use watermelon and bright red, and we'll be using GP purple and pansy. Hey Shantae, how are you? Hey Nancy, thanks everybody for hopping in. My phone's trying to remind me that it's paint night, so hold on, let me hurry and tell it to shush. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. All right, Lori's business call sometimes always gets me a little frazzled because I forget sometimes. Hey Linda, how are you? Okay, so let's pop down and we will get our painting on. All right, and I was able to have enough time to at least get my camera adjusted. So, new little thing that I'm starting is these are little ice trays. But they said, or everybody's been raving about them because you can peel the paint out of them, and then it has a nice little cover so you can kind of keep them from drying out as much. So we're going to try that, but you know, for shading, we're always going to use the plate. My Easter was really good. How was everybody else's? It was a pretty chill Easter, honestly. Can't complain. So, color tonight that we're going to use is some bright yellow. And I'm not going to use too much of it, so I'm just going to probably use the cap again. Okay. And we'll use this guy. No, we won't. Maybe we will. I just flipped a paintbrush. All right, we're going to use this one. It is a 1/4 angle. It is a little beat up, but we'll make do. So I'm going to do these centers of our flowers. And then on some of them, I'm going to come in and use the darker yellow. So this one that I'm painting right now, woo, that is really blurry. What happened here? There we go. It focused. Okay. Some of these I'm going to come back in and use that darker yellow and add a little bit of design to it. And I might skip a few of them and go in with just the darker yellow. Like this guy will go with darker yellow on this one. Just to kind of play, give a little bit of variety and color change and depth to some of these that we're doing. There we go, just smoothing out my paint here. I know, right? That blurry there for a second, I was like, what just happened? I'm glad it auto-focused. I'm like, ah! And knowing me, I would paint and then like look up all of a sudden and be like, oh my gosh, it's so blurry. And my camera has a hard time with the white. So I try to keep the black background, hence why this is here. But this is a new board, so it doesn't have as much of my coloring crazy like it typically does, like my Lazy Susan here. Alrighty. Clean that up. Okay. Let's see. We're going to make this one dark, so we'll do this one lighter. Can you hear my girls out there playing? Obviously, they're playing with the dogs. Sorry, guys. Alrighty. Oh, yes. There for a minute, I thought I was getting a pedal. Whoops. Threw me off all these loops. If that ever throws you off, sometimes you can just come in and do like a quick little dot. And that will help you keep your centers going. Just making sure that I didn't miss any. Okay, so we're going to move these two as the darker ones. Everything else we're covered. Okay, perfect. I am not liking the coverage on this center. There we go. Alrighty. So this was that sun bright yellow, or sun bright yellow. Thought I almost said that wrong. Now we're going to use bright yellow. And the bright yellow, I am going to use, wherever that is, a 5/0 spotter brush or liner brush. I'm going to use that for some of our little swirlies that we have in the center. Some of them have stripes, so we'll just probably get the smaller parts of it. I may just do it all. So you can see, kind of see on the camera. Hopefully when I start adding some more of it, you'll start seeing it a little bit, getting a little bit darker. And this is that bright yellow, so it's just a little bit different of a contrast, but it's definitely dark enough that you'll start seeing it. It is wet too, so you're going to get a little bit of the glare from it too, so it's not going to show up as much on the camera, unfortunately, but we'll see it. It will start popping through. Okay. Thought I picked up paint on the bottom of back of my hand there. Okay. This one has a swirly. Losing paint here. There we go. So how is everybody doing? How was Easter? You definitely worked in the yard some more. I got some more trees. I got 3 dogwoods. So I got a pink one, like a pink and white one with like the white center. I got a white one with the white flowers. And then I got another one that's kind of a hybrid one, they were saying. And it has kind of like a pinwheel, so it kind of points at the end of the flower. So anyways, that's what's going on there. I was kind of excited. All right, so we got this one and this one. Trying to make sure I didn't miss another one, did I? Nope, okay. Now this bright yellow sometimes requires 2 coats. So we'll see with these bigger centers if we need to. There we go. And right here. Right around that petal. Just cleaning up here. So quiet. My kids must have all went downstairs. Alrighty, we got all the yellow. Let me just throw some heat on these two center ones just to make sure we're good here. Pony rides, Easter egg hunts, etc. Oh my gosh, how fun. I bet. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, our new neighborhood, they put on a scavenger hunt for the older kids. So the girls went over on Saturday and did the scavenger hunt. That was pretty fun. But we had, like I said, it was pretty relaxed. We had a pretty chill one. Just how I feel like Easters are supposed to be. Probably not though. I mean, you're running around with Easter egg baskets, so I guess Easters aren't super chill, right? Haley got a kite. She did fly the kite for a little bit too. It was pretty windy on Easter, so yeah, we had fun. It's different, you know, since moving away from our families, we kind of had to do our own thing. We did go to a baseball game. I guess that's kind of Easter. Well, Easter weekend. We went to a baseball game on Saturday night, and that was really fun with some friends, and we were able to get the girls some tickets too. So it was fun. The team won. The Knights won. So the girls really liked it. Haley liked it because they had a lot of lefties. I was really surprised. They had a lot of lefties playing, and Haley, of course, is a lefty, so she thought it was really cool. So, okay, Sun Bright Yellow is done. We're going to go ahead and go in with some of our pinks. And this is fuchsia that I'm using here. I'm going to go ahead and use the egg, our little cone curtain here. And let me grab my brush if I can find it. I got a mix of stuff over here. Yeah, the first part of the game, they weren't doing too good, but they started working as a team and started doing really good towards the end, so it was pretty fun. We're still kind of trying to figure out this North Carolina stuff, so I know it sounds bad, but living through COVID and everything else and moving kind of put a damper on that first year a little bit. We were always like, I wonder what's going on at the house. That was our excitement when we lived in the rental, so. We got a few things planned, so hopefully it'll come to fruition and we'll get some more fun. All right, so here is our fuchsia. not go smooth. There we go. This new board that I got, I mean, it's still the same wood, but different manufacturer. It's a little bit different. It's a little more grainy of a wood, or of the MDF than I'm used to, so it's just feeling a little different. And I was trying to prime it pretty fast too, so that probably was some of my problem. Alright, cleaning that up. Let me grab the edges here real quick before I forget. Just getting these guys. I didn't get too bad with the paint over here. I mean, the primer I did definitely, but okay. So this kind of has like a 70s vibe to me. I think when I drew it, actually I know when I was drawing this one, for the retreat, you guys will totally get it. But my pants for the retreat, because we had 70s, we're doing the 70s, totally inspired this. Isn't that funny? It has certain things that'll just kind of inspire us, like, oh, look how cute that flower is. Oh, look how cute. This is so whimsy. I think I'm going to do this. So, anyways, when you see my pants, you'll understand this sign a lot more. You gotta go with what inspires you, right? Be clean right there. I might have to sneak down to a smaller brush right here, because this brush is a little bit beat up on the tip. So I don't know how much I want to trust it. Ooh, we're getting there. I guess I trusted it. We're good. All right, next petal that we'll do is, let's see, we'll go with, I think, I'm gonna go with this guy. And then we'll get this one up at the top. All right. So just cleaning up this edge. Whoops, we got a little overage there. It's okay. Our detail lines will fix it. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay. Cleaning up this edge here. And this one. There we go. You guys are going to see writing tonight. I'm just so excited. I know you guys love when I write. Am I missing comments? Okay, we're good. So right here, just going right around this edge here. Guess we'll start explaining what I'm doing, since I'm being a little boring. So anyways, we'll smooth this sucker out right here. La la la. Beautimous. Okay. Our next little flower I'm going to do is right up here at the top. So we're going to have like a cute little set of 3. Go right here. Clean this up. It is going to be sneaky to get that edge. Help me. I did not think about that, I think, when I was designing. Usually I try to remember edges, but clearly you can tell I forgot. It's okay. We'll get there. Okay, I'm just gonna do a nice quick little sweep here around our edge, stop, and then I'm gonna come through and go this way. Clean that up. And right here it's really tight, so I'm just gonna try and just barely get the edge of my brush touching. Pull that through. Same here. Alright. Alright, we're getting a little dangerous here. I'm gonna sneak in here. Grab this guy. This is a 1/4 angle. We'll just get this guy right here. I might sneak 2 and start just using this guy. Alright. So we got here. And then this is that fuchsia. Fuchsia goes on pretty good. Has a really good coverage as well. Sometimes you can get away with 1 coat, others it's sometimes 2, depending on what you're kind of doing. For this one, I think we'll be okay though, with 1 coat. Okay, trying to sneak my brush in. That spot's gonna be black. Hey Debbie, long time no see. How are you, hon? Alright, so just cleaning this guy up. Like so. I'm going to come in here, just clean up the center just a little bit. I can just see a little bit of strokes right here. Not a real bad amount, but just a titch. And then I'm going to come in with that bubblegum pink and just add a little bit of highlight and shading to our flowers. Not a ton, just a titch. Just a little. Okay. All right, so there's that. You're doing good, perfect. All right, foam plate. We're gonna do just a little bit of shading, not a crazy amount, like I said. I'm just gonna get a little bit of our bubblegum pink out here. And I forgot my medium. Grab some medium. And I forgot Mod Podge, so we'll throw that out there too. Okay. And okay, I am just going to use a little bit of the fuchsia I have here. We're going to kind of just mix it back and forth. All right. So now what we're going to do, just kind of come in, do a nice little highlight. Alright, got just a little bit of medium here. Get their paint a little more pliable. You can see a little bit of brush stroke here, so I'm just kind of cleaning that up. Taking this, just smoothing out. my paint. Okay. Just going right around the edge of my petal. Just like so. And there we go. Same thing here. This is a little bit tighter, so I'm just kind of getting right where the edges are. Like so. There we go. Now we can kind of have some fun. We're not in the restricted zone. From just a little median. There we go. Smoothing these out. There we go. So kind of just like a light little dusting around those petals. You can kind of see that dimension, everything popping in. Hey Brenda, how are you? So I'm going to come in, do this, and then I'll just take my median and run it right around the edge just to smooth it out a little bit more. Because you're going to kind of see some brush strokes. But this is another easy way to kind of get that flow with just adding just a little bit of paint. And then you'll come in here, grab the median, and look how smooth it makes it. And it makes it nice and just kind of glides that paint where you were having problems with the brush stroke before. It's a little technique I've learned that you don't have to have too much on your brush, but you can still get that effect just by throwing a little bit of median. Now you do need your paint just a little wet for it. It doesn't need to be super wet, but you know, definitely where you could still smear it a little bit if you needed to, but and then that just helps get it all nice and pretty. Okay, I am going to actually use this bubble gum, and we're going to paint it up in here real quick. Let me switch brushes so we can do a faster coverage. So I'm just going back to that 1/4 angle brush right here. So we're going to go right around. There we go. Whoops. That is a boo-boo. Hold on. I went crazy with my squish. Baby wipe. Alright. Oh, the grace of baby wipes. Painter's best friend. Crafter's best friend. Always have them in your craft room. Alright. So I'm just going right through here, smoothing this out. Getting a nice little line. And this cute little card, we're going to have those black and white, and then we'll have the writing say Bloom on it. If you didn't catch that earlier. Let me throw just a little bit more of our bubble gum down. Alright. Smoothing out. There we go. So that is done. Let me see, I just see a little brush stroke over there that I don't like. Okay. Throw that back in there. Pinks are done. Woo woo. Okay. Now onto our oranges. wrong one first. So first one I'm going to do is pumpkin. Okay. And then I like that 1/8 angle. I feel like was doing better at getting in between. So I'm going to switch down. And these ones we're going to use that big bubbly petal. All right. Just nice and smooth here. Right here, going right around our edge. Okay. Oh, my kid's school is calling. They call every week. The girls didn't have school today. It was a teacher prep day, so just probably calling and saying, hey, your kids are coming back tomorrow. All right, so I'm just cleaning this one up just a touch here. There we go. And we got that nice orange. We're gonna go, I think we'll do, I'm trying to think here. Go get this guy, and I think I'm only gonna do 2 of the oranges, because then I'm trying to think here. We'll do purple, purple. I want these guys to be red. Okay. Yep, I think I'm just gonna do 2 purples on this one. Trying to get in my head here. I guess you guys can see how I process things out. What's sad is I have this all colored on my iPad and I forgot to bring it up, so kind of going off of the whim. All right, throw in some of our orange in. Just going right around this petal here, and then just curving. So like I said before, I use a lot of the time my fingers to twist to get that nice curve. Okay, right here. There we go. Clean that up just a touch. And there we go. What brand of paint do I prefer? I love Delta Ceramic Coat paint. I'll show you a picture of it. Or I'll bring it up. So it looks like that. My next favorite would be probably Deco Art Americana. I know a lot of people like folk art. I don't really care for folk art paint, especially for the price point of it. I feel like it's really expensive for not great quality. So at that point, I would use Apple Barrel. Michaels has their brand Craft Smart. I know some people really like it. I don't care for it. I feel like it's really watered down, and I just don't feel like the coverage is there. So I don't prefer it. Now, you are going to see a bottle behind me that does show Craft Smart. I don't mind it for the black and the white, especially for my primer coats. I feel like whatever you can get for cheap for the white, go for it. But yes, for going into, you know, good coverage and paint and stuff like that, hands down, in my opinion, the Deco Art or the Ceramcoat and then Deco Art. And Deco Art, the reason why I put them number 2, I know a lot of people like them. A lot of the colors that I've picked up, they are really swatchy. That first coat. The second coat goes on a little bit better, but I've had to a couple of times with theirs do 3 coats, which time is money. So y'all know that I love doing the one and done coats. It just makes life a little bit easier. So did I get this side? I don't think I did. I can't remember. Yeah, I did. Okay. So orange is there. But yeah, these are my go-to brands. For the most part, you'll always pretty much see me with the Ceramcoat paint. I can only think of probably, I mean, even on my tower, I can only really see, maybe just even on this side, there's like 3 or 4 on my tower that I even use. That's Deco Art, or Americana, sorry. Deco Art Americana. I have like 1 folk art, one or 2 maybe a folk art. I even tried their glitter and their pearls. They weren't too bad, but like I said, I really don't care for them. Apple Barrel, I know some people swear by Apple Barrel. I just feel like some of theirs are really watered down. You kind of get what you pay for because it's cheaper paint, but I do like some of theirs for stains because I dilute my paints down when I stain and do the baby wipe method. So for that, I go into using those a little bit more, but yeah, for the most part, like I said, it's Ceramcoat. Okay, just put a little bit of the orange on, and this was the Cantaloupe, sorry. Can't think of which color I'm using. Whoopsie. I guess that's what happens when I'm talking. I forget what I'm doing. I am just going back in and just darkening this up a little bit. I didn't like how light it looked. I wanted a little bit more pizzazz, more color. So I'm just going to add this in, and then I'll come in and use the median, and it will just kind of blend it in just a little bit more. But it actually is kind of blending pretty well the way it is. So I might just take my brush. I'm just kind of lightly brushing it into the paint just a titch. There we go. Yeah, not bad. Okay. Orange is done. I'm going to skip the green and I'm just going to finish going with the flowers because I know that there is some space that I used that's not necessarily leaf space, but I'm going to use it as leaf space. So I just want to make sure that I get the others done. Okay, so we're going to use our bright red next. Oh, I forgot to also say the Ceramcoat you can get at Hobby Lobby, Target, and some Joann's carries it. And then let's see, we're going to do the 2 reds right there, and then we'll do the purples, and then we will be done with our flowers. So just going in right here. Clean that one up. And then this one, like I said, this is bright red. I really like bright red, but a lot of your reds are gonna go on blotchy when you paint. So don't think that you've done something wrong. They just go on that way. I've tried adding extra, you know, a thicker coat, thinner coat, doesn't matter. It just shows that first stroke, or that first layer. It looks a little blotchy. Just smoothing out here. Hey Susan, how are you? Thank you for loving to watch. You're so sweet. I know, I need to start getting myself doing lives on TikTok now that my shoulder's getting better. I've went down to once a week of physical therapy. And then he was telling me that he thinks I can start doing some at-home stuff soon too. So I'm excited. It's feeling much better. The swelling is still a problem though, but I'll take the feeling better. Because I have like a little brush piece that got caught. So we're gonna just clean that up real quick. Alright, so we're just cleaning up, getting our nice sweet area, cute little edge here. Okay. That one's done. We're gonna go right here. Get right here. This is 2 petals I'm working on. I know I typically am painting 1, but where it's so little right here, it makes it easier for your brush strokes. And then we'll just come back here, clean that up. There we go. All right. Right here. There we go. I know, shoulder pain is no fun. I know, it is definitely not for the weak of heart. I mean, what is funny is I didn't realize, you know, you guys, how I had kept saying I thought it was my carpal tunnel. I thought it was carpal tunnel, which I do have carpal tunnel. But I mean, it's not even, you know, when they did it and everything, they were like, you definitely have it, but it's not even to a point where we would recommend doing surgery or anything. And I'm like, okay, but they're like, your shoulder is misfiring so bad. We thought that I had ulnar nerve problems, everything in it. I mean, it is amazing how much your shoulder really does control your arm and everything else. I just was like, wow, you know. Because the pain that I was starting to get November, December it was rough. I mean, even having COVID in December and everything and not really painting much, it's still just, guys, it kicked my butt. That shoulder, man. You don't realize how much it controls, especially when it's your dominant side. So I am so grateful to start feeling better. I'm so grateful that they were able to do physical therapy and not have to do surgery, because I was not happy about it all, but knew I couldn't be living the way I was living either. So it was bad. I mean, even when we went to Sims, I was not doing good then. I had to keep my arm rested it was just no fun. My surgeon says he really likes the progress. He doesn't like the inflammation still, but so he's leaning more towards the no surgery still. So yay for me, because I can put it out as long as I can, I will, because I don't really want to do surgery. I'm not a good patient. I hate sitting still. I mean, I know you guys see me sitting still, but I have to always be doing something with my hands. I can't just sit and not do anything with my hands, or I don't do well. Is anybody else like that? Gotta have something moving. Gotta be kind of doing something. Sitting on the couch, I have to be doing something with my hands. Okay, you got the red. I'm gonna throw just a touch of this right here. There we go. And then that was the bright red, so now I'm gonna use the watermelon red. It's kind of like a pinky color. It's really pretty. It's one of my faves. I had a client ask me to use red with Easter with pastels, and I'm like, I have no idea how I'm going to do it. Watermelon saved my butt, the watermelon red, because it has that pink to it that it really pulled really pretty with those pastel colors. And this probably may not show up too much on the camera because it is a little bit lighter, but I promise in real life you can definitely see it. So just going right around these edges here. All right. There we go. Trying to look in the camera. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's a little faint, but I promise it's there. When I do that up close, you guys will really see it. So I'm doing a little bit thicker of the shading too, so that you can see. Right here. And doing our quick little loop. Quick little petals here. There we go. Nice and smooth. Okay. Our red is done. Now to our purple, and we will be done with flowers. Now this purple usually is one and done on these. I just lost my brush. Where did that go? There it is. Just cleaning it off real quick. Okay. All right, so we're just cleaning here. I'm gonna have to do edges again. I've been painting for so long and not having to do these edges, I'm gonna forget. All right. Just flip this real quick. Get our edge. Right here as well. Okay. Well, we might be doing 2 coats because that is a little splotchy. Okay. I'm just going to lightly come in here, very lightly with my brush, just kind of using the tip of my angle brush. I'm getting into this edge. Now, if you're not super confident in your brush strokes, just go down to a smaller size, no biggie. And we will get these two guys right here. Throw just a little bit of GP purple on the tips of these flowers. Throw some black on. Oh, I guess we have leaves too, but that will go by pretty fast. Leaves are fast. And right here. That cleaned up. I'll grab this edge before I forget. So those of you with older children, do you have kids that just kept bickering? Oh my goodness. My 10-year-old and my 13-year-old, they sound like an old married couple. I'm not even joking, guys. They bicker and bicker and bicker. I don't know what to do. They're driving mama crazy. They're fine on their own, you know, but, or when we're around them, they'll be better, but I listen to them bicker all day. Let's just say Easter break, and then they need to go back to school. It's gonna be rough when during summer break if they keep this up. So help me out, mamas. What were your ideas? What are some ideas? Okay, just getting this edge here. All right. I'm gonna throw. Your 20-year-old still bickers. Oh no, I'm in trouble. Because their rooms are like right next to my studio. So my studio is here, and then there's a bathroom, and then both of their rooms. And I'm like, maybe they've always done it, but because I always work downstairs in the basement, I didn't really hear it as much. But Lord, I hear it nonstop now. I'm like, can you guys please just be nice to each other? Come on. They're like, we're not fighting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, stop. Non-stop, all day. I mean, they even do it as from the moment so one's in elementary, one's in junior high. So they have different times that they get home from school. Haley gets home first, my elementary-er, and from the moment that both of them get home, it is like, so Haley gets home, it's kind of peaceful. Then we get Briley home, and it's like, rah. It starts. And it doesn't stop. It's no fun. I'm like, how am I ever going to get anything done? So I just listen to you guys, and then I like lose it. I'm just like, I can't hear it anymore. I'm done. And they look at me like I'm a crazy person because I'm yelling at them. They're like, we're not fighting. And I'm like, how in the heck are you not fighting? So, anyways, this mama's going nuts. Alrighty, I got those edges, just double checking. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to throw a little bit of our purple, even though it looks like there's some already on our plate. That was from the other paint thing I was painting earlier today. A little bit of GP again. Maybe. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of the GP, a little bit of the passion, or pansy, sorry. Don't know what purple I'm using today. I'm going to just go right around our petals. And this is looking a little bit bright right here, but I promise you we're going to come back in with that median and smooth everything out, and it will look nice and pretty. Because it's looking a little rough right now, I get that. Okay, right here, just grab a little bit of my median. Okay. Right in here. That one we might need to come back and just add a little bit. I got a little crazy there. Not really liking how that one turned out. So there we go. All right. Just grabbing a little bit of the pansy, kind of working that back in. There we go. You needed just a little bit right here too. And there. Our flowers are now complete. I think this would be a really cute Mother's Day sign too. Alright. Just gonna use the lid here. This is parsley green. A lot of your greens need a double coat, but this one's not too bad. I think we'll be able to get through this one okay, but we'll see how we work out here. So just smoothing out our center here. Now I got at the edge. I'll get the edge right here real quick. I'm going way over. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't realize what time it was. Sorry. All right. Same thing here. Clean this edge up. So right here, just smoothing out. Right there. There we go. Okay. So even though this is not technically a leaf, we're just going to fill this in with the green. So we don't have the ugly white kind of hanging out in here. Just giving ourselves some filler. Like how we do in arrangements. Okay. Same thing here. I'm going to get a little brush for right there. I use our swatter brush. That one. So nice smooth strokes. So I'm just loading the brush, Going right in, rounding around, and then just smoothing out. Kind of almost like scribbling, but smoothing that out, smoothing the paint out and getting the edges cleaned up. Right here, there we go. All right. You like the pop of purple? Perfect. I know, I thought it kind of needed just that for a little bit of a base tone, kind of, since we had so many bright, but then like I said, I wanted it to be a little whimsy, but I think it needed just a little bit to settle it down, and I feel like with the purple it will really work well with the black and white that we're going to be adding. All right, you guys, I'm going to just go right here, get our edges of these leaves. Okay, let me smooth that out. Okay, one more right here. There we go. Okay, and there we go. Clean that up. Voila. I'll get these big leaves, and then I'm going to switch to the smaller brush to just get those little itty pieces in between. And I have a feeling we're going to just have to do a little bit of a quick second coat touch up because I am seeing some blotchy, more than what I was hoping for. So green is always just that hit or miss. Shantae, I don't know if you were here when I first said this, but these flowers inspire my 70s outfit. I got inspired by my pants. Isn't that funny? All right. Okay, let me just hurry and we'll get these ones real quick, and then we'll go in with the smaller brush, and then we can add our black. So I'm just kind of working the center part, getting the edges cleaned up just a little on these, but the blotchiness is really right around that center for the most part on all of these. Just doing a quick second coat. I'm going to start running into a little bit of wet paint, so I might have to get the heat gun. But we'll see what we can work with here. Right? Yes, Susan, yep. That's exactly what was happening there. It's totally how my pants are looking too. Yeah, baby. Now I'm gonna have to watch that show. It's so funny, I still to this day when I like hit start on my laser, I'm always like, fire the laser! I know some people have like added stickers of can't think of her name, but anyways, the lady that says that, you know, so anyways, it cracks me up. All right, got the liner brush real quick. Look at right here. I don't really remember her playing in anything but Austin Flowers, the lady that says fire the laser. I don't recall her in much other. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go with the gecko. And this is kind of like the same with the yellow. I'm not gonna do shading too much with this. It is strictly just doing our leaf lines with this one. So I'm doing it a little bit thick so it shows up. Right here. And that guy. This one's a little bit more of a deeper edge, so I'm just gonna hit that one. The other small little ones I'm not gonna worry about too much. Okay. I got all of them, just kind of double checking, doing a quick little look. I might hit that one too, just to kind of, in there. I know I said I wasn't going to do a lot of those, but I felt like it just needed a little something to kind of hide that it's a void. All right. I keep moving that baby white. Let's get into the black real quick. Maybe I do need that baby white. We got a lot of spillage on the top of my bottle here. A lot of like pink gooby. There we go. And on my finger, I just stained my finger black on the tip of it. It will. All right. Trying to clean this brush off here. Okay. Maybe. Oh. Well, the brush ate dust. It broke really good. The love is gone on that one. It is done. I'll grab this guy. All right. It happens. I've had some of these brushes for quite a long time. Okay, so I'm just cleaning up this edge, making sure I don't have a polka dot below. And we'll go straight down here. There we go. Same thing. Right down. All right. So I'm just working on the stripes real quick here. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't realize this project would take so long. I got a little too crazy, I guess, with my detailing. All right, So right down here, smoothing that one out. Maybe, there we go, there we go. It's catching in one of the laser lines there. Okay, and our last little stripe here on this side. Going straight down here. So I'm just loading my brush with the tip, and then that's how I get that nice straight line. Stopping right here because we definitely have a polka dot. Landing right below the edge here. Okay, let me pick this up real quick. Grab this edge. Okay. So now what we'll do, go right here, go right around our polka dots. And on this particular sign, because I knew I was doing polka dots, I did have these etched in, so we'll make it a little bit easier. And I did double coat, or I did with the primer coat, I did do 2 coats where I knew that the white was going to be, so where the stripes are and these polka dots, so they have a nice coverage on them. Okay, just smoothing that out. Okay, get in this guy. Here we go. Right around here. Maybe. There we go. I'm not liking the edge I gave myself, so there we go. You're almost there. Right here, get this edge. There we go. Clean this guy up. And right here, there we go. Not realizing how deep these honeycombs are. Go to like hit my brush and I'm like, oh, I didn't get any paint on this. Alright. Did it again. Alright. Okay, I am like killing this polka dot. There we go. Much better now. Okay. Let me grab these edge right here. Alright. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to glitter with you guys. I'm feeling bad I'm keeping you guys so long. Sorry, you guys. I got overzealous. with this sign for y'all. Okay, just seeing a couple little spots there. I'm gonna switch down to that 1/8 brush, maybe, there we go. Actually, you know what, I think I'm gonna just go with the liner brush. Since these are little tight spots here. All right, so we're gonna get this guy. And while I'm at it, I think I'm just going to even do the outlining around it so I don't get my hands stuck in black paint as much. All right, there we go. There we go. That one. There we go. Outlining's the hardest for you. Have you tried using a paint pen? Another thing too is if you dilute down your paint so it's a little bit more watery, that helps as well, Brenda. Like, I'm just about ready to do it because it's driving me. This paint's just a little too thick. Now, when you're doing the coverage, it's fine, you know, for when we were painting the pot. But when you're doing outlining, sometimes it works better. I probably just got way too much. No, it actually is thickening up. It works a little bit better because the paint kind of glides just a little bit more. Oh, Linda, you're so sweet. Take your time. Thanks, Susan. That helps a little bit more with keeping it moving a little bit more for you. It just kind of glides. See how I was struggling a little bit with keeping that consistency, and my line was getting a little bit thicker, or it was starting to drag with my paintbrush. If you do that, it will help a lot more with keeping your lines nice and smooth. And then as much as you can, just try and keep your hand as steady. So I do a lot of this movement, a lot more than my wrist movement. That's another way to help you. Let's see. I'll come back and get the edges on these, if I remember. As I say that, I'll probably forget. So those are one of the things with outlining that really help. I found is watering it down or using a paint pen when I first started, and making sure you have a nice thin brush. If it's starting to feel like your lines are getting really thick, clean your brush, because it could be that your paint's getting really thick as well. Like, I'll show you in a second what I mean, because I've got quite a bit of paint since I've been doing these squares. And try not to get your brush overly loaded with paint too. That's another way that you'll get too thick of a line and not really like how you're doing your outlining. Okay. So right now, if you can see, kind of see how it's all gloopy. This is your favorite part. My swishies. Oh, I love it. It looks really shaky. Yeah, what I would do is even sometimes if you angle it up so your wrist is more at a fluent, because sometimes painting straight down can make you really shaky as well. Those are some of the things that I found that have helped me in the past with getting more of a fluid moment or movement with my hand. Um, and honestly, practice makes perfect. Um, and so if you're not wanting to waste you know what you're painting, another way that you can do it is just do little outlines on a piece of paper or on some scrap wood or something else, and work on the consistency of the paint that you like, because there's just a certain way that you're gonna like your paint to be, but try the watered down. That really does help. And then I don't have anything fancy with my brushes. My brushes are Folk Art Walmart brand brushes for my outlining. They're just the smaller packaged ones that you get that say for detailing. Nothing crazy. I do like the grippies on them. That seems to help a little bit too with controlling my hand a little bit more. I do have some that I have used in the past just because there for a while paintbrushes were really hard to find. So those are just some of the little recommendations that I could give you. But yeah, definitely don't overload your paintbrush. That was a problem for me when I first started, is I would overload my paintbrush with paint and then it would just be super gloppy. And another thing is I'm not super perfect with my lines. Sometimes they're really off from where they need to be, and that's okay, because you can always make it a little bit thicker, and everything else too. There's plenty of times where I go off. Hi Sandy, how are you, honey? I saw pictures of your cute baby. Congratulations to him. Okay, getting just that petal nice and smooth. I was also thinking of your friend that was at Sims with us, and just making sure, wondering how she was doing. So send me a message. She's been in my thoughts and prayers. Thank you, Nancy. I know, I'm sorry. I'm super slow tonight, so I apologize, you guys. But I appreciate it. Thank you. I know the other night I was super fast, so I guess this is just making up for it, right? Alright, I think we need a swishy there. It called for one. Okay, I'm just kind of doing a quick little outline sometimes when I see that on these stripes I didn't get a great line going. So if you see me doing it, that's why. I feel like we're like halfway done maybe. Rachel, why did you draw so much? Why'd you do so many flowers? Sometimes I really kick myself in the butt for how many details I do on things. Like, Okay, and then I also get asked a lot of how do you avoid trying to get too much paint on your hands so you don't smear everything. I know I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna constantly go this way. So I'll work and then move over. And that's kind of how I try to do it. Sometimes my brain just kind of wants to go where it wants to go, but for the most part, that's kind of how I keep myself from trying to get it all messy. You do it a few times and you start to learn too of how not to keep your hand out of the paint. Okay, we need a swishy on this guy. There we go. Another swishy. All right, guys, we're getting there. Slowly but surely. I feel like another slushy maybe right there. Ooh, I almost forgot this pink petal right here. That's as ginormous. Our biggest flower. I almost forgot it. Okay, so my brush is definitely getting gloopy. It's getting too much in there. So I'm cleaning it off because you could see that line was getting a little thick. And now can you see how much thinner it's getting? So when you're working with these thinner brushes, they do start holding onto the paint a little bit more and everything else. So just when you start noticing it or feeling like your line's not working, you're starting to kind of get that drag and stuff like that, clean your brush. Just rinse it out real quick and start again. That's a quick way to help too. And it's also a way to not have the shakies, because if your brush is starting to get too much paint on it too, it will start shaking and your lines won't look as fluid. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do an outline around this pot where the polka dots hit through. So there's our quick little outline there. All right, I almost forgot here with our edge. I might not do the writing for you guys tonight because I know we're way over on time. Okay, let's grab some highlighting. Which brand of brushes do I recommend? I have had good luck with the Folk Art brand ones that come from Walmart. I really like those. The Plaid brand ones. This is a Plaid one. Plaid and Folk Art, they both kind of sell at Walmart. I think it's just whatever ones Walmart picks up. I'm just going to kind of lightly go around that one. I have really liked, oh, what are these ones? The Royal brand ones. I like those ones. I'm not really too much of a paintbrush snob, to be honest. I'm more with my paint, I guess. But I really like the Walmart ones, but I'm really rough on my brushes, so I haven't wanted to get too expensive of ones because I knew I was going to beat them up. I leave them in the water way too long. Like I do, I am not an example of what to do with the paintbrushes by far. So anyways, like I said, I just use the Walmart ones. Plaid, Folk Art, those are the ones. The Royal brushes, I liked the Royal Kids brushes that they had for a while, but those ones are a little bit harder to find again. And they switched and the bristles were starting to come out, so I guess I am a little bit picky, but that was driving me nuts. But they switched manufacturers or something. It was in my door painter group that I belong to. We were all talking about it because we were all seeing how much we loved them, and then all of a sudden they like switched brands on us, and we were like, or manufacturers, and you could definitely tell that something was wrong because it was like your bristles just kept falling out. I've tried the Walmart ones, or not the Walmart, the dollar store ones. They're not bad. They just don't hold up well. And like I said, I tend to be a little bit more rough with my brushes by leaving them and doing things you shouldn't do. So that tends to be the reason why my brushes don't hold up either. So it's partially my fault. So I'm just going to do a nice quick little swoop here, there. Alrighty. Okay, guys, I am going to throw just a little bit of glitter on here, and then we are going to call it a night since I'm so super slow. And then we'll put the bloom on if you guys want to stay with, or I totally understand if we want to get off, because I cannot believe I've been on as long as I have. I'm sorry. I knew my Mod Podge brush was in here. Okay. And grab my glitter page, my glitter sheet. Okay. So Mod Podge, I'm just going to kind of hit where the white parts are, or where our stripes are. Grab right there. You're loving it? Thank you, Shantae. You're so sweet. You can totally see the 70s vibe I had in my head, huh? Alright, we're going to just do a quick little one there. Okay, we're going to grab these. This is why I don't use the shaker side. I don't know why I opened the shaker side. Okay. Oh, missed that big orange one in my face. There we go. All right, let me. Sorry about that. Okay, look at that. How cute is that? Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Groovy baby, yes. I love it. I will take pictures of the writing on here. I just feel bad that I've kept you guys so long. The brushes I do like, or the pens that I do like, are the Posca pens. I'll just do one of the letters just to show you guys kind of how to do the paint pen. So this one is the 3mm one. So you're going to kind of prime it real quick, get the ink down in there, shake it up real good, okay? I'm going to kind of do this one backwards. So we're going to start with the M first. So the M has a nice cute little line at first. So this is a little bit harder because usually when you go down with your handwriting, it makes it a thicker line, and when you go up, it's a thinner line. Hold on. So you can see how that works, right? Should I just hurry and do it for you guys? I feel so bad. Here we go. We'll just hurry and quickly get it. I'll just hurry and do it. I just won't talk as fast or as much, right? Alright. So now we're just gonna get that line just a little bit thicker. Alright. So line right there, line right there. I didn't quite have the O's hooked together. I thought it was cuter kind of have them separated. Alright. Trying to keep my hand out of the glitter. Alright. Straight across. Go up. So this line's going to be thicker because naturally it would have been your hand going down. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. Blue. Hey Susie Brown, how are you? So there you guys go. Let me flip my up. There you go. You can see it that way. Isn't that cute? It's groovy. So you can see the little stripes that we got going on, our little swirlies, our swishies, all that fun stuff. I think this would be cute for Mother's Day, all those fun things. So anyways, you guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for hanging out with me way past when I typically go, but I appreciate it. You guys have a nice night. Bye guys.
Playing from